Being alone is something most people try to avoid. We fill our time with conversations, notifications, entertainment, anything that keeps us from sitting quietly with ourselves. And when we do end up alone, it can feel uncomfortable, sometimes even scary. But today, I want to talk about the truth about being alone. Because while loneliness can be painful, being alone can also be one of the most powerful experiences a person can have. From a young age, we're taught that being alone means something is wrong. If you're by yourself too often, people assume you're lonely. If you enjoy solitude, they think you're antisocial. Social media amplifies this idea even more. It constantly shows people surrounded by friends, relationships, and activity. So when you spend time alone, you can feel like you're missing something. But solitude and loneliness aren't the same thing. Loneliness is feeling disconnected. Solitude is choosing space to think, grow, and recharge. And the difference between the two is huge. One of the hardest parts about being alone is that there are no distractions, no outside noise, just your thoughts, your doubts, questions, and reflections. That's uncomfortable at first, but it's also where real self understanding begins. When you spend time alone, you start to see who you really are without the influence of other people's expectations. When you learn to be comfortable alone, something powerful happens. You stop depending on constant validation. You stop needing someone else's presence to feel complete. You become more dependent, not just physically, but emotionally. That does not mean relationships stop mattering. It means your sense of stability doesn't collapse when you're by yourself. And that kind of strength is rare. Many of the world's greatest ideas were born in moments of solitude. Writers, artists, inventors, many of them described their best thinking happening when they were alone. Because silence creates space, space for reflection, creativity, and deeper thinking. When your mind isn't constantly reacting to other people, it can finally start exploring its own direction. When you spend time alone, your priorities start to become clearer. You realize which relationships actually matter, which goals are truly important to you, and which distractions were just filling space. Solitude strips away noise, and what remains is usually much simpler and more meaningful than you expected. There's a quiet confidence that develops when you genuinely enjoy your own company. You don't rush to fill silence. You don't feel pressure to constantly entertain others. You become comfortable just existing, thinking, observing. And strangely enough, the people who are most comfortable alone often form the healthiest relationships because they choose connection not out of need, but out of appreciation. The truth about being alone is that it's not something to fear, it's something to learn from. Loneliness can be painful, but solitude can be powerful. It can teach who you are, what you value, and how to stand on your own without losing yourself in the expectations of others. So if you find yourself alone sometimes, don't rush to escape it. Use it, because the relationship you build with yourself might be the most important one you ever have. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.